Well, you guys are stuck with me for the program today, so I think we're going to be doing pretty good on time here. So I don't know, just as a show of hands, who all has been to a international convention? Wow, that's amazing. I don't think I realized it was that high. That is so cool. It's definitely a bucket list thing you should do if you haven't yet, even if you're not. But I just, first of all, I want to just thank the club for making that a priority. It's really interesting, especially going to district conference and meeting some of the other folks, because I would say from our district, the amount of presidents who would be going to RI is actually pretty low. I don't know what that would be, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Like maybe 50% probably don't go. So I'm so grateful that that's been such a long-term priority. And has anyone been to Calgary before? I'm just curious. I was really pleasantly surprised. I've been in Canada a lot, but never in Calgary. And yeah. Oh, cool. I didn't realize that was the second time. So it was really neat. I mean, first of all, just if it's right before the Stampede. So it's kind of there's been a lot of things going on in Calgary. The G7 was there before I was there, but they were all kind of getting ready for the Stampede. But, beautiful convention center, just amazing. I think there was several things that I think were just overwhelming about it. We all know, I mean, I think sometimes I've always got overwhelmed, like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. But when you go to the convention, then it's that times a million, because there's just so many different things our clubs are doing, which is really cool, because there is something for everybody. The interest groups, like WASH, for example, was really interesting. I didn't know that there were, I knew there were these groups, but I had no idea how many there were. I texted Jan and said, hey, there's one for pilots. Like, I thought that was just amazing. And, and then there's ones for travel groups where you can, if you're traveling, you can stay with them. And if they're traveling and you're in town, you can host them. So, I mean, just so many kind of neat ones. There was one, I mean, there's some really random ones too, like genealogy. I know Wynn's been involved in the beer one. There's a wine one. There's even a one where it's for rugby enthusiasts. So it's pretty amazing. Also, what was really cool, I don't know if Louise is still on, but I got to see, David was there as well too, but also Louise's mom, Teddy, was there too. So she was having some visa issues getting into the US, but to meet her mom was awesome. So it was just really, really a neat experience. So everyone knows what the theme is for this year, Unite for Good. So I was going to play, just to give you kind of an idea of our new RI president. And I don't know if everyone's familiar, but is Curtis here today? No. So Curtis can kind of probably relate to something in this end where Francesco became president in the last month. So there was the original president, Mario, was not able to fulfill his duties due to some visa issues and some other things along those lines that obviously you have to be able to travel a lot. So Francesco Arrizzo is our new president, and he is an orthodontist from Italy. So, and which is really interesting, because Gordon McAnally was our past president 2 presidents ago, and he was a dentist in Scotland. So anyway, it seems like there's kind of a pattern going on between every other year. It's got to be a dentist. So I got to get Jennifer in the club, and maybe she'll go that route. I don't know if that's going to happen. But anyway, I wanted to play a key part of the message from Francesco. Obviously, speaks really good English, but very thick Italian accent as well too. But why don't we go ahead and play that?
And so let us start with our annual message: Unite for Good. Yahoo! Let us examine the
So in Calgary, that's what you say is Yahoo. Like, that's kind of just the Calgary thing is Yahoo. So that's part of, just want to make sure you knew why he was saying that.
it for a moment. In my opinion, it is an extraordinary message in its simplicity, brevity, and impact. Unite. To unite, reconcile, gather around. Unite can be understood in 2 different manners, in my opinion. You have to unite in space and time. Uniting in space means involving all members, but not only members in our service. It means involving organizations that function as partners, local administrations, other voluntary associations. In short, it means expand our reach. It means increasing our membership. In many parts of the Rotary world, we are not growing. In fact, we have been losing membership for years. This remains one of the areas of action we will face to focus during this year. The most effective way to increase membership is, first of all, to increase retention. We lose too many members. Yes, you can. Especially members admitted in the previous 2-3 years. Maybe they did not find what they were looking for. Maybe the club experience was not what they expected. So, improving the club experience must be another imperative during this year, making ample use of all the possibilities we have to apply great flexibility. Let us make more use of new types of clubs, for example, satellite clubs or clubs of purpose. Let us set no limits on creativity. Let us adapt new forms of clubs to our local culture and traditions. Unite also means expanding one reach and working to benefit not only the local community, but also those needs far behind our borders. In shorter, unity means working in harmony, building bridges, involving as many people as possible to achieve more and more effective results. But unite can also be understood as unite in time. In other words, what means? In other words, it points to the need to work serenely with those before you and those after you. An annual project can be limiting. A project that lasts 1 year will rarely be transformational, but will always remain on the surface of the problem. If we really want to change the world, and we want to change the world and people's lives, we must plan bigger with multi-year projects. Our assignment may only last 1 year, but we must work and plan with those who precede us and with those who follow us. Continuity is another part of my program for the next year. Because remember, it is never my year. It is never my year as president, as governor, as international president. But it is always and only the year of Rotary. We are called to undo our egos for the good of Rotary and the communities we serve. Now, for good, unite for good. We have joined together, but to do what? For the good of humanity. For good indicates that our goals are, what are mine? First, along with membership, another important goal is the eradication of polio. We are always a few steps away from a success that is denied from year to year. But we are there now. Every year we are closer and closer, and it is our duty not to break the promise we made so many years ago to all the children of the world. We can do it. We have the means and the right partners. We have our infinite tenacity. So we can do it and will do it in the next years. And the last goal is peace. That is polio membership, peace. But what do I mean by peace? Peace for me is what we do best and what we do every day. Taking a young person to a peace center or sending a young person to another country on a youth exchange is working for peace. Preventing and curing disease is working for peace. Provide clean drinking water or sanitation where there is none is working for peace. To have women give birth in a safe environment and take care of their children is working for peace again. And to improve the environment in which we live, to support girls' education, to give economic support to those who cannot open their business, all this is always and again working for peace. We are a great, immense machine that has been working for peace for more than 1 century. More background information can be found in our vision. Together. It is a word that must always stand out prominently in all our workplaces. Together. Alone we go nowhere. Any difficulty will seem insurmountable. Let us leave the Superman we think we are in the attic and learn instead to value the team, to use our infinite different skills, to look at problems for different points of view. Alone, we lose. Together, we win. Always. And more, we see a world. We look far ahead, and in our vision of tomorrow, we transfer our dreams. Dreaming is indispensable. A poet of the last century said that you begin to die the very moment you stop dreaming. So never stop dreaming. Dreaming is a consequence of enthusiasm, and in turn generates enthusiasm. If we cannot dream and make our members dream, we will hardly have a successful year. So I invite you to dream, and to dream big. But dreaming is not enough. We have then to act, because we, as you know, we are people of action. But now I have spoken even too much, and so to conclude, I want to tell you a story. Many years ago, a young professional joined a Rotary club somewhere. He immediately made himself useful and tried to cooperate to the best of his ability. After a few years, he was offered the position of president. But he refused. Refused because he suffered from a stutter, and the idea of having to speak in public on a regular basis terrified him. But his colleagues insisted so much that they eventually convinced him. And surrounded by the support and affection of his associates, he passed the test successfully enough and began attending the district. After a few years, they offered him the position of governor. Again, he gave up. For it was one thing to speak to a limited number of people, made up of friends and acquaintances. But it was quite another to speak to a much larger and mostly unknown audience. But they again convinced him. Again and again, the experience was positive. But to make a long story short, because we don't have a lot of time, after a few years, he became a director of Rotary International, and now, in this precise moment, he stands before you, President-elect. Rotary changed my life. A great Sicilian writer, Luigi Pirandello, used to say that each of us builds a mask to face the outside world without anyone being able to see our true personality. Before I came on this stage, I took off my mask, and now I show myself to you somewhat naked. I show you my fears and flaws. I also tell you about my dreams. And for everything, dreams, fears, flaws, I make you a gift in this moment. But I want something back. Yes, it is not free. I ask you to give me your dreams. Each one of us has many in the drawer. Let us unite them. Let us create one great shared dream that unites us, that excites us, that changes the world and changes our lives. But let us act upon them and deliver to our communities. I owe it to you because Rotary has changed me like profoundly. If the young professional who was afraid to speak to his club because of the risk of making a fool of himself can now get up on a stage and speak in a language which is not his own to an audience of thousands, well, I owe it all to all the Rotarians I have met in my life. And who have always supported me and surrounded me with their affection. I am confident that you will give me all the support and affection I have always found in Rotary. Together, we can unite. We can unite to change lives, including our own. We can unite to change communities, right around the corner and half a world away. We can unite to change our world for the better, not just for us, but for generations to come. Together, we unite for good. So, I love you. Try to love me a little. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you, Carl. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like he is the right president at the right time, even though he wasn't intending to be. So I don't know. That's just how I feel for sure. So, Unite for Good is just, I think, such a important theme and just the right theme for what we need, just with everything else that's going on. And it's part of why I love being a Rotarian. I don't know about you, but I think that a lot of us could probably relate to Francesco's story in so many ways in terms of kind of where he started and where he got from Rotary. So, and I think that's a really important thing. And when we talk to people about Rotary, and I don't know about you and your friends, but I talk to lots of people who don't know anything about Rotary, and I talk about it a lot, and so because I'm trying to evangelize to make sure to bring other people in and know kind of what we do, because I think there's so many misconceptions about what it is that we do. So, but anyway, so Unite for Good is definitely, like I said, the right theme, and I would assume many of you can relate to Francesco's journey as well. Let's see. So I wanted to kind of just focus on, I know we talked a little bit about the club assembly, but kind of talk a little bit about some of the things from a focus area, growing membership, growing youth programs, expanding our reach in the community, fundraising successfully, and financial stewardship. So membership obviously is a big piece of everything of where we're at. So, we've done some great things with Denise and Deidre, and a lot of you have participated in the roundtables, and really, getting that up and running even more and doing a lot of things is really important. Improving the onboarding experience is the other really kind of key thing, and so working on that. Exploring and enhancing membership options. I think that's really, Francesco talked about that, is, if our club, who meets on a Tuesday for lunch isn't working for somebody, let's create something else that would do that. So, and there are so many different options. I mean, it's actually kind of overwhelming in thinking about that. There's clubs that are virtual that just focus on mental health. There are clubs that they talked about for more families. There's no rules in terms of what that might look like or how that can be. So if there's opportunities, let's think about that. And then, engagement of all members. So that's just a big piece in trying to get, that's a key thing for membership and, and membership happiness. So, just one thing, I know we talk about membership a lot, but if we can make it a goal for all of us to try to at least bring one person in the club, we would. That doesn't take a lot, to be quite honest. I think that all of us have probably brought in someone into the club at one point or another, but if you could focus on that from a 12-month period, think about what that would happen. So, I feel like that's a pretty attainable thing to focus in on. So, just to make a concerted effort in that way, bringing guests, I think we've got a really good system to do that. Or bringing them into anything else that you think might get them interested. And I think, I talked a little bit about this before. I know we talk a lot about, hey, we need to get younger, 40. I don't really care. I think that there's no age limit to be a good Rotarian. I think of some of the most amazing Rotarians that we've had are people who've joined after they've retired because the timing worked better for them, and that's awesome. I think it's also great to bring in, like you said, the folks who are younger, just all of the above, right? It's kind of like how we talk about energy sometimes, right? Like everything is good. We don't want to focus on one thing at the expense of not focusing on anybody else. We just need good people who want to make a difference in the world, and that's really all it is. We've worked on some other creative ways of bringing Rotarians if finances are an issue. And if that's still the case, I think there's some ideas that we're working on. And so that'll be coming up here down the road here a little bit. Growing youth programs. So, one of the interesting things I think of youth that I really kind of came away, especially from the district conference, was, we do so many different things in silos. And sometimes then we also then have another silo from the other clubs and what they're doing. So, it's really one of the things we talked about, especially at some of the breakout groups in Calgary, were, how do you kind of continue on, you get somebody who is in, maybe participates in RILA or maybe is an exchange student, and then they kind of fall off the Rotary bus, for lack of a better way. Say, hey, that was a great experience, but they don't really do anything else after that. So, really focusing on making sure that Rotary is a priority as time goes on is a key thing. So I'm going to use my son as an example, who actually is going to be just completed his JC training, Ben, for RILA. And so now he's, going to be really involved in that. But obviously the key part for him, hopefully to stay involved in Rotary, would be to be in Rotaract at CU. That's his next step. So, ensuring that we're all kind of working in there together, and that so the people who are in RILA know about Youth Exchange and vice versa, and the folks who are in Interact then know about Rotaract, all those things are so critical to kind of really build up that momentum and kind of make it just part of their life. And so you got to start young, I guess, and they say that with lots of things in this world. So so that's really important. And then, I think one of the other things that we've done that's been really good, but we still can do it even better is, having better cooperation when it makes sense with the other clubs, right? So, Breakfast Club does a lot of things. I think the Youth Exchange Program is a great example of where we form some really good integration with it. But, if we kind of are all kind of working in our own directions and not knowing what the other clubs are doing, I don't think we'll be as successful. And then obviously supporting Rotaract in whatever ways are needed. Louise, I'm not sure if you're still on, but thanks so much of all you've done to help get something in Fort Collins and that club. But now this is the big test this year, is to ensure that it goes on without Louise, because Louise was such an amazing leader. But we need to make sure that the baton has been passed in the right way from that end. Let's see. Our reach in the community, I really want to have some different opportunities for us to get out in the community. Maybe, meeting at the Marriott's great, but it's a lot of fun to get outside of the Marriott too. And then maybe, having a service project during lunch, some of those things I really want to kind of create those opportunities for us to really learn a lot more. Partner with Interact. I'll tell you what, especially Rotaract, they have such an amazing club. I mean, if you've not met Sarah, is it Sarah or Sarah? Sarah, yeah, she just spells it differently. She is amazing. Like, she is so cool. So, I mean, what's cool about them is that they find the projects more than we do, and they know what's there. So, I mean, the ability to partner from that end is going to be really, really neat. And then one of the other ideas I kind of talked about this was, having meetings with our partners at their site so we get a better appreciation of what they do. It's one thing for someone to come up here and talk about their organization, but when you get to see it, like I think of when we got to tour the Lone Tree facility from Summit Stone, that was so cool to know what was really going on there. And I would have never gotten that, otherwise. So I think if we have the opportunity to do those things, that'll be really good. And I just really say have fun in all that we do. I mean, to have fun, that's been, our mission statement for a long time, is to have fun. I think we all come to Rotary for different reasons, and I get that. And so sometimes, it's for the fellowship, to see our friends and to hang out and have an interaction outside of anything else that we do. But really kind of having that bond, because I think in ensuring that new members, when they do come in, know that they feel, they find their kind of their home here at Rotary. I'd like to bring back dinner groups. I think that would be really fun. We didn't do that last year, but that was a lot of fun. So I'd like to get that going. And then just fun and creative fun offsites, right? Like this gator farm, that probably wouldn't be easy to visit, but so I know we have the Zoom, but when there's an opportunity, I mean, who didn't like field trips as a kid, right? So I mean, I kind of think the field trip kind of concept is really fun. So I know I've talked with JD and some of these other people when we've had the ideas of, hey, can we come talk to your club? Let's do it in some ways that are fun and creative, and that let us all kind of bond with each other and get to know each other a little bit better. So what I ask of you, I'd love to meet with you guys one-on-one. I know I've had kind of coffee with you guys as we've been able to. And so, but if I don't reach out to you, or if I miss you, just say, hey, can you meet this time? And I'd love to do that. So, and at that point, let's talk about what you like, what you don't like, what we can do better. And and then just appreciate your grace and patience. I've got, life is not easy at this stage. I've got I work and then have family, but obviously Rotary is my family too. So I'm really excited for it, but I cannot promise I'll be perfect. So, and I don't think we have any questions. So I'm assuming you don't, but that's why I figured I could kind of go on longer. But yeah, thank you again for everybody. I just am so glad and appreciative for everybody here in this club and for what you guys do. So thank you so much. Oh, yes, Mark. Yeah. Yes. It will, absolutely. So Win did a great job of getting that going on, and I definitely will be keeping that on for sure, and to making sure that we have that moving on for sure. So thank you. No, I know that that's one thing that I certainly have loved to have, and we will definitely keep that going on. So I was thinking we might have time for it today, but I let Mario go on. See, he did a way better job of speaking than I did, so I got to take some lessons. Not Mario, Francesco, sorry. All right. Well, thank you. Oh, go ahead, Win.
So normally for our fines, we raise anywhere between $150 to $200, give or take. Today we raise on the button $600. Good job, guys. Thank
That is
you.
awesome. That is fantastic. So I know conservatively then we're at 6,600, not including what everyone else may have already donated. So that's fantastic. So awesome.